I know that you're very passionate, not only about health and wellness and the global impact of just empowering individuals, but you have a soft spot for our children. So, as parents, do you have any tips that we can do in regards to food consumption, food intake, different tips that we can do in order to help our
No,
children?
absolutely. And I would say the marketing has targeted the children. I think this is what is so upsetting. As a parent, I'm watching this. It's like, hey, wait a minute, there's something terribly wrong. So the marketing that says with the cereal, okay, if you go up and down that cereal aisle, okay, one thing we try to do, we try to empower parents to read the labels. And no, you're not going to sit all day and read labels, but guess what? You can go home and read the labels, and then when you're in the store, you're empowered with a list of products that meet your requirements.
Introducing Community App. Community App is an all-in-one app that lets you easily create and promote any type of class in your local community. The login/sign-up page where you can sign up or login. Details that are needed for sign-up: name, email address, password, location, interest. You can select as many as possible: interest, boxing, workout, painting, jogging, and so on. After sign up, connect your Stripe account, or you can skip it and connect it later. Welcome to your dashboard. Things you can do from dashboard. You can create class. See class requests. Switch theme. Settings. Check your earnings. Visit www.community.com to get started, or download the Community app from Google Play Store or App Store.
Thanks to her, my podcast.
We got it, reaching 350 million, they tuning in.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
Hello, everybody. I am so excited today to have in the building the remarkable, the incomparable Dr. Mary Zennett. She is really revolutionizing the way that we look at health, the way that we approach our health and wellness. And she makes it very, very easy for us to be able to understand those deep, complex topics, and also the words too that might go over the top of your head. She break it down for us so that we can start having the health that we want. And Dr. Mary Zennett is the founder of Movement for Global Health. She's empowering individuals to activate the communities and compassion for the world. Together, she will create a healthy world with you and I. She wants you to stay informed. She wants you to stay empowered, and she just wants you to be well. So without further ado, let's bring on the woman who has taken on your health and wellness, Dr. Mary Zennett. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tina. I'm so grateful to be here.
Well, I am more grateful to be here, that you are here with me, for the simple fact that you talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, which is health and wellness. For those of you who already know, I had a stroke at 25 years old, and I did what the textbook tell you to do: food, diet, and exercise. All right. But no one ever informed me about the dangers of chemicals that are found in natural household products, our makeup, and so much more. And I had all of that in my home. And I had to go through a journey of purging my home of chemical-based products. And so with that being said, what drew me to you, Dr. Mary, is that you not only talk about this, but you make it very easy for ones without a medical background to be able to understand what's going on. So I want to know about, let's just go ahead and jump into these household products. When, especially dealing with cleaning, are they really safe?
Dr. Tina, there are products that are safe for cleaning, but there are so many that are not safe. So, as you know, I recently released a book, and I talk about this in the book. There are ways to look up your cleaning products, and there is an organization, EWG, Environmental Working Group, and they rate cleaning products from A to F. Well, guess what? If you've got A and B products, you're in good shape. Okay, but what if you have D, E, and F products? You don't want your children coming home from school with a D, E, or F, okay? Unless under extenuating circumstances, but you want them to do A, B, and C work. Same with a cleaning product. The problem is we are so taken in by the ads, the advertisements, okay, on the billboards, on the TV, you name it. And to be very honest with you, in the stores, there can be really toxic products with beautiful colors and packaging. And you know, it's like that the products are saying, buy me, okay? Do not be fooled, okay? So what we're trying to do is educate people to research every cleaning product that you have in your home. You say under your sink. One of the best ways you can gauge the quality of your health is what is under your sinks. What products are being used to clean your homes? You know, a good friend of mine, she had a cleaning service, and until she realized this, she was getting so ill. Dr. Tina, she couldn't breathe. She couldn't breathe, and she was having to quit, like literally retire. She'd go, I'm not ready to retire. And she learned this. She claimed, she researched her products to A and B products, and guess what? She's still cleaning today. So we cannot minimize. And I'm going to tell you another thing, Dr. Tina, the impact on children. If these products are bad for us as adults, what are they doing to our children? Okay, their little brains developing, the bodies are developing, their neurologic systems are developing, and you've got all these toxins in these products. What's that doing to their health and well-being? We're seeing links now to ADD. You know, Dr. Tina, I read an article this morning. It was quite a long review article. And it was a gentleman who is very concerned about the rising rates of autism. So he said, literally, he says, the only way we're going to curb these rates, as you know, I'm sure the rates are skyrocketing. It's just devastating. But he says, the number one thing we need to do is learn about these toxins in our products, these cleaning products, and get them out of our homes. Now, we're not saying that this can reverse autism. However, it can help support the body's health. And that's what we want. And, you know, clean breathing, you know, not these fumes. We forget what a chemically ridden society we have become. So, again, for our listeners, EWG, Environmental Working Group, they have done the hard work for us.
That's powerful, because when you think about all the different chemicals, I never even thought about the chemicals, because mentally we think everything that's on the shelves in the stores we think it's safe. So we don't think, okay, I need to look out for this particular toxin, like dioxin. I don't think about, when you see the word fragrance, it can mean that it has over 200 to 300 different fragrances just listed under the one word fragrance that can cause autoimmune disease or trigger things with respiratory, that trigger things with hormonal, and even affect the way that we reproduce. It can cause you to have problems with reproduction. So I never understood that until I had a health problem. That And I never understood it because I did everything supposed to be textbook right: food, diet, exercise, right? And so I realized that the chemicals sometimes can make you, when you have an overrun of chemicals in your house, of chemical based products, it can cause you to have so many symptoms, to bring on possibility diseases that you may not have encountered, other than your body being overloaded with so much on a day-to-day basis of chemicals. And we just don't know what we just don't know. So everyone, please go to that website, like Dr. Mary what she just said, and make sure that you look up under your cabinets, because literally what you said, when you look up under your kitchen cabinet, just that one cabinet, it will give you a overall view of what's in your home, because the kitchen is the hub of love, the hub where all the family meet, we talk, we socialize, we have fun, we do everything in the kitchen. All right.
Exactly.
And so what's under that cupboard, what's under that cabinet, that sink, is a big indicator of what's going on. So if you're having breathing problems, look up under your sink what's going on. So Dr. Mary, the thing is, I found out that it's not only the chemicals that can be found in our products, but it's also dealing with the plastics. So when we think about this, when we try to be economy, like try to save a little money, send our children to school with their little packed lunches, and we go to work with our packed lunches, and thinking we're doing good, getting our little plastic containers so we can save some money. And it can actually be harming us. So can you tell us some things that we need to look for if we're buying these kind of reusable products?
Well, the main thing is to minimize the use of plastic. I mean, we are become a plastic society, okay? Oh, my word, everything. But I thought about this, Dr. Tina, and it's not easy to remember. But you know how you have these cloth shopping bags? It's like, if I could remember to bring those bags in every time I shop and not need to use the plastic. But it's going to be one person one day at a time, because it is so easy to forget. We're all busy, we're running, we're doing different things, but keep some of those bags, the cloth bags, and they're very sturdy. Okay, you could use them 1,000 times. But every time you're using one of those, you're not using the plastic bags in the store. Then there's this research that talks about, like, when you have a cup and it disintegrates into it never goes away. And that these pieces of microplastic are everywhere. And oh my God. So it's an awareness, Dr. Tina. None of us can fix all this by ourselves. But like you say, I remember when my kids were small, you had the little lunches and you had the little containers and all of this, and you think you're doing right, okay? We know more now. We're getting better at it. And the less you use those plastics, the better. Do you know a young man who's a brilliant engineer? He finally couldn't take all the plastic in the ocean. He has, and it's in my book, like a boat. And he picks up this plastic all over the world, and they cleaning up the ocean. It's like, my God. Now that's a monumental endeavor, but you know what? He's doing it. He's doing it. So let's help him along. Let's have less and less. The problem with the plastic, it just doesn't disintegrate. It's very hard, it sits in the landfill. What's it doing? It doesn't go anywhere. You can't absorb it back into the soil. And but these are the things that we need to think about. Our world is very different than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. And things that we used to think were fine, we're just realizing they're just not fine anymore.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And we need to start looking into having more biodegradable products. So when you go in the store, there are some, when you look at your products, they'll have a little sign on it, a little symbol to let you know whether or not this product is biodegradable. So what exactly does that mean? That means that it'll break down naturally and will not cause harm to the environment. So if you don't see that, then 9 times out of 10, this is not going to break down easy. This is going to be something that's going to be left that can cause problem with the soil. It can cause problem with the animals. Seeing little ducks trapped inside of the little plastic. I don't even know the little plastic that goes over the sodas, and they stuck and they can't get out, or just seeing oil spills. All of this, you might not feel like it's affecting you, but it is affecting us. All the things that's happening in our environment is going to directly impact our lives and our family legacy, which is the people, our families, our children, our grandchildren, our children's children. They're going to all be affected about what we do today. So even though we're talking about the overall gist of what plastics and chemicals can do, we can do our small part by individual making sure that we do a little bit better with making sure we don't consume a lot of plastic, making sure that we have more natural based products to be able to help our families, and passing on the knowledge, which is the key, because you can't do better until you know better. And so this episode is all about just bringing this awareness to you, because you may be looking for ways, or you may not be feeling that well, and you're trying to figure out, the tests are coming back normal, and you're trying to figure out what is wrong because you feel sick. And it could be something as simple as removing chemical-based products from your home. It could be that simple.
Exactly. Now think about it, Dr. Tina. And once you learn, then you share with your loved ones, you share with your friends, your neighbors, you see, and that's how this information gets out there organically, and it comes from the people, and as it should, But it is so critical that we learn, take action, and share. It's so critical, so critical.
It really, really is. And being that we're already talking about family, we're speaking about it. I know that you're very passionate, not only about health and wellness and the global impact of just empowering individuals, but you have a soft spot for our children. So as parents, do you have any tips that we can do in regards to food consumption, food intake, different tips that we can do in order to help our
Well,
children?
absolutely. And I would say the marketing has targeted the children. I think this is what is so upsetting. As a parent, I'm watching this. It's like, no, wait a minute, there's something terribly wrong. So the marketing that's safe for the cereals, okay, if you go up and down that cereal aisle, okay, one thing we try to do, we try to empower parents to read the labels. And no, you're not going to sit all day and read labels, but guess what? You can go home and read the labels, and then when you're in the store, you're empowered with a list of products that meet your requirements. And requirements means it's safe for your children to consume. So let's use the cereal aisle as an example. It's like, and we need to do our research before we go in that cereal aisle, because the kids, they're kids. They're going to be gravitating to the colors, and oh, look at so and so is on the box, and this, and they're not thinking of what's in that cereal. So one thing I want to talk about, Dr. Tina, is high fructose corn syrup. Oh my God. Okay, if we haven't heard of it in a while, it's time to refresh our recollection. Okay, there's a very highly respected doctor, Dr. Mark Hyman. He's really one of the pioneers of functional medicine. And he wrote an article several years ago. He said 5 reasons why high fructose corn syrup will kill you.
Mm.
He didn't say, and I mean, I read a lot of articles, Dr. Tina. I haven't heard many that are put that way, but he gave his reasons, and he gave his research, and the reasons why you have to. This is one, other than, let's say, the cabinets. You clean your cabinets out of these toxic cleaning products. Other thing you need to do is be familiar with those 4 words: high fructose corn syrup. And if you have to write it down, write it down. Okay. And then go in your kitchen cabinets and look at how many products contain high fructose corn syrup. It is absolutely frightening. So what he says, he goes, so we're saying, like you look at like what effort is going to have a major impact. Getting those cleaning products, okay, that's going to have a major impact towards the health and well-being of you and your loved ones. And getting rid of that high fructose corn syrup is going to do the same thing. You look in your kitchen cabinets and you start reading labels, okay, and it's right there. The funny thing is they don't hide it, but they're not marketing and saying, "Oh, we have high fructose." No, they don't market that. They go, "It's your favorite cartoon character. It's this color. It's that flavor, and all these benefits." But they're not saying this high fructose corn syrup is not good for any of us. So that is one thing everyone can do. And I'll be honest with you, once you start reading labels, it's like, oh, I don't want this. Get this out of my house. Get this out of my house.
Yes.
More important, keep it out of your mouth.
Yeah.
But it's so prevalent. Sauces, gravies, cereal is huge, or there's so many cereals that have it. But I mean, so in my little book, Dr. Tina, I wrote it like as a little driver's manual so that people could have it at the palm of their hands. It's inexpensive, and they could look and say, oh, this could have high fructose corn syrup. Let me look in my kitchen cabinet. Because you know what, Dr. Tina, there's so much health information out there. It's easy to get overwhelmed. And
Yeah.
you've said that, and the wording, it's what are they talking about? Okay, keep it simple. Keep it simple and clean up your food, clean up the chemicals in your homes.
That is so true because high fructose corn syrup is very appealing because it tastes good, but it's really detrimental to us. And I'm glad you gave that illustration of the cereal aisle, is because what we don't realize, they're very strategic with their marketing. The things that are not that good for you is at eye level. All the pretty, bright, flashy, pretty stuff. The children seeing all the cartoon characters drive you crazy. Can I get this? Mommy, please, 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 please. But if you notice, all the healthy stuff is on the top shelf. You have to take some effort to look up
Exactly.
to pull it. And so just know that mostly healthy stuff is mostly found on the top shelf where most people don't look at. And the unhealthy stuff is more likely eye range, very lean.
Exactly.
And so, and if you on the bottom shelf, you know it's not healthy at all. It's just it's probably the F.
But you know this, and that you're aware of this is to be commended. Because the other thing is, I hate to say, because I always, when my boys were babies, I always took them shopping. But for toddlers and 5, 6, 7, 8, it's almost better that they stay with a family member or a close friend, and don't even go, because it is the marketing, it is unconscionable what it's doing, because
Amen.
it pressures, then it pressures you. You feel like, is there something wrong with me as a parent? You're
Mm-hmm.
saying no, but no, you're looking for the health and well-being and safety of your children. Now, I want to tell you, EWG has a whole section on their website about cereals that rank healthy and cereals that do not. And they give their reasons. So it's well worth looking. Every year, they'll rank the best and what they consider to be the worst. And they come under, I might add, they come under tremendous criticism. Tremendous. It's a nonpartisan, it's not for profit, but they are truly objectively dedicated to our health.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And anything like that is going to get criticism because it's at the end of the day, it's about money. And so they want to be able to get more bang for their
Mhm,
buck, but
mhm.
not they don't care about the expenses of our health. And we
Exactly.
know that one of the largest industries in the world is healthcare. And so it can keep us sick. Okay, it make the cycle go around. So we have to
Mhm.
really be mindful
That's right.
of this. But like I said, I learned this because I had health issues, and a lot of these things you can reverse if you change your eating habits, your diet, and what you bring into your home. You'll notice that your overall health start
Exactly.
getting much much better.
Exactly. And you saw that, we have cells in our body. Think of how many, trillions of cells. But the little cells, they take the good ingredients that we eat and they form healthier cells. You see, the body has this amazing ability to get rid of the old and take in the new. So we want to feed it the best. And of course, as parents, we always say, we want our kids to have the best. And that means the best quality, not the fancy, high priced marketing quality. What's good for, and it can be simple. It can be simple. The other one I want to alert our listeners to is pesticides. Dr.
Mm.
Tina, it breaks my heart to read how many pesticides are literally covering our crops. Okay, this is it's just absolutely sickening, because think of what those pesticides are doing to our little ones' brains.
Oh,
Okay, oh my God. So again, EWG has really excellent information. And in my little book, there's more information on how you can, it's hard to say you're going to be pesticide free, but you know what? You're going to do your absolute best to minimize pesticides in your food. So
mm.
yeah, that's another big, we're talking about big ones. And these are everything we've talked about is very common and very prevalent today.
Yes, I agree with you. And so now we're gonna speak about something that some of you guys are like, yeah, you're gonna talk about that. I wanna touch this because this is something that we don't think about in regards to our health and wellness. We don't think about how it affects us because once we're done with it, we want to be done with it and walk away. And we're talking about some potty time stuff, okay, people? So even though I know this is not a popular topic, but we really need to talk about this sewer
Mhm.
sludge and what's going on with sewer sludge. And I know it's not popular, but you need to know because this is about informing you and empowering you. So, what kind of effects do sewer sludge have on our overall well being?
Well, Dr. Tina, when I realized that the processing plants, okay, they're getting the cleaning the toxins out of the water, but in most municipalities, they are just releasing this
Mm,
unbridled into our soil, into our soil. And these are the things, if you could say, what keeps you up at night? And I try to shut everything down at night, but that's
mm,
one thing that keeps me up. It's like, how on earth are we going to change this? what are we, I've thought about it many times. I says, gee, well, I suppose the first thing I need to go is go to my local municipality and find out how bad this is. I've read enough articles to say that it's really very bad. So when we hear people say, eat organic, they go, oh, it's too expensive. And I get that. I really do get that.
Mhm.
It's too expensive. But if it's not organic, there's a high risk that it's being grown in soil that contains sewer sludge. Now,
Mm.
what else is in sewer sludge? Okay, well, we know, poop, okay? We get that, okay? Candid, okay? But it's also, there's pharmaceuticals in there, okay? There's lots of pharmaceuticals. So wait a minute. You don't take a lot of these pharmaceuticals. Why on earth would you want those in products that are growing on your soil? Okay. And I've heard another one, industrial contaminants. Why on earth do we want that in our soil? And I'll be honest with you, Tina, there has to be a time that the people just say, we're just done. We're done. We have had more than enough. So, one thing I'm going to do on one upcoming podcast is like what we can do besides going to our local municipalities, supporting organizations that have been sounding the alarms on this, and it feels like nobody's listening. But you know what? Two of us are talking about it right now. Our listeners are listening to it right now. And if each of us did a little something, then and only then can anything be changed.
Mm.
None of us want this in our food. None of us. So,
No.
but this was slipped by and nobody seemed to know about. I'll tell you, I learned about it from the Organic Consumers Association, OCA. So they have come under tremendous fire. Why? Because they do their research and they're speaking the truth. So if each of us just went to this website, Organic Consumers Association, and look up sewer sludge, everything you need to know. And there'll be action steps. So then these organizations will have petitions to now it's sad that we have to petition. I think and that's where people get frustrated. Like, I have to petition Congress. Well, yeah, you do. Because the big business and industry, big money has already petitioned. Dr. Tina, I used to be very active in health reform. I'll just put that out on the table because I really
Mhm.
believe little changes can make a huge difference for people.
Mhm.
What I learned very quickly, and I met other doctors. I've been in healthcare my entire adult life. I met wonderful people. Okay, not a one had a place at the table when it came to health reform. Who
Mhm.
did? You had to come in there with millions of dollars. Okay. Now, this is the problem. The health of the people, there is no price we can put on the health and well being of our people. But we are not represented when these decisions are being made. And I'm very sorry to have to say that, but it's everything I've observed. And I
Mm.
know doctors who have dedicated their lives to the health and well being of the American people. But
Mm.
again, they're not selling big products. They're not, So this is where our priorities are upside down. They're upside down. So we people, we say, how do we get to this point? This is how we got to this point. So
Exactly.
we need to learn. And again, it's not going to be rocket science, but basics. And say, you know what? I'm going to take the health and well-being of my household into my hand to a degree that everything I see that's not healthy, we're going to do our best to keep it out of our households. If we each did that, we would create a healthy world.
We definitely would. And so what I want our viewers and our listeners to be able to connect with you, because I heard that you made a book to make it easier for us to carry around. And I also know that you have your own podcast and show in which you'll be informing us on these different health topics, where you're doing the research for us pretty much. And those of you who do not know, Dr. Mary is a treasure trove of amazing information. And I encourage you to follow her on social media, because I learn a lot. If I want to know something about what's going on in the now, I go to Dr. Mary's page, because I know she's going to have something. And I just share it onto my platforms because it's so informative. So tell us about your book.
So it is called The Amazing Itty Bitty Healthy Habits Book. And it's in the Itty Bitty series. And it's on Amazon. It's very inexpensive. And the whole purpose of the book, Dr. Tina, was to give people in a little book that you could keep in your purse or right there in your car, a reference guide, like a driver's manual. It's like, oh, what do I need to know about that sewer sludge? Oh, here's a chapter, sewer sludge shock. Oh, here's another one, doctor. There's phytoplastics. Here's one on, I want to tell you about this one, the high fructose corn syrup. Here you go, deep cleaning, vegetable oils. Dr. Tina, I want to mention this really quickly too, because I remember growing up, oh, everything was these hard, healthy vegetable oils. Hard, healthy vegetable oils. Okay. Well, it turns out these oils are processed, they're commercially processed, and they promote inflammation in the body. Do you know when this got really bad? During COVID, and people were going on ventilators. This breaks my heart. It just breaks my heart. And they said the inflammation in the vegetable oil was contributing to inflammation in the lungs, requiring, okay, that breaks my heart. So in the little book, there's the doctors, references, and the oils to stay away from. So you learn that, clean out your cupboard of those oils, and guess what? Put a check mark. You've done it. It's done. Okay? You don't have to get upset over it like I already did. Just why it upsets me is that it's not widely known. Everybody needs to know this. Everybody. But there's that was the whole purpose of the book, little pearls that people need to know to live healthy, have healthy families, and stay away from the toxins, whether it's in our food, our water, our air, and that's how we create a healthy world.
Yes. So you guys, I want you to go check out her website. It's movementforglobalhealth.com. Make sure to follow her on all social media platforms, and also check out her podcast on CTR Media Network, where you'll get more information. And she also bring on very informative guests where they talk about these topics in extension version, where they speak about autism. They speak about health and wellness products, all the different things that we discussed today and more can be found on her amazing show. And I want you to also go pick up her book on Amazon, because all of us need a handman with all this stuff that's coming on and going on right now. So don't worry about finding it yourself. She did the hard work for you. Go on to Amazon and purchase the book. And Dr. Mary, I would like to thank you for taking the time to stop on by the Tina Ramsay Show and share with our audience about how we can get our health together and how we can all come together as one to make this world a better place to live and to enjoy life, because now we have the health to enjoy our life.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tina. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for all you do.
Oh, you're welcome.
A really great experience on the Tina Ramsay Show. I felt like she really asked some valuable questions that can help a lot of people, especially in regards to monetizing. And so the vibe was great. I honestly wouldn't mind coming back on again if she invite me. And I felt like the conversation just flowed. So I am super happy and I can't wait for the show to air on every single platform out there. And thank you again.
Aluva G-Burn is an all-in-one weight loss supplement. If you're looking at a weight loss supplement as a whole, in my opinion, you have to target 5 or 6 different areas. And Aluva G-Burn does that. And it's the highest quality ingredients with the best absorption technologies with the highest bioavailability in each and every ingredient.
Hi, my name is Jen. I'm 47 years old. I teach musical theater classes to children, and I have been using Aluva G-Burn for a couple months now. I have 4 kids. And it seems like with each pregnancy, I gained a little more weight, a little more weight, a little more weight. And it's so frustrating to try to get that weight off. You know, I'm just hungry all the time. I crave stuff that I shouldn't be eating. I've tried everything and nothing has worked. But as soon as I started Aluva G-Burn, I was finally able to lose the weight. It suppressed my appetite. I wasn't having to snack all day. The cravings were gone. I felt great. I now have the energy to do the things I want to do throughout the day.
Thanks to her, my podcast.
We got it. Reaching 350 million. They tuning in.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.